Oh, sorry.
What? Yeah. It's on a different one. How's it going tonight, guys? Hopefully everybody can hear me good. I'm guessing Charles can. It's going excellent tonight, Charles. We are this side of the snowbank, so that is a good thing. If you guys don't mind hitting that thumbs up button as you guys come in, much appreciated. We're just trying to get things set up here, get things going. Oh. How's it going, Kirk? Good. All right. Everybody can hear me. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Charles. It was a nice wolf. I know in the video there, I was kind of downplaying it there a bit, saying that it wasn't as nice of a wolf as it actually turned out to be. But once I got it home there and got the snow shaken out of it and combed out and that, oh, my hair is all a mess. It turned out to be not too bad. Yeah, so I never did weigh it, but I'm gonna guess it's in that 70 to 75 pound range. All the other all the other wolves that I've caught in the past have actually that I've weighed have actually all been 72 pounds. So that's why I'm guessing that it's probably in that same range. But the body size didn't seem that big, but she was really, really long. She stretched just over 60 inches from nose to the base of the tail. And then real long legs on her too. But yeah. Oh, we have been dealing with some weather here for sure. We've had it so easy this winter. And then we finally got a storm there starting, what was it, Monday night, I think it was. And wow. Not that we got a ton of snow, but I'd say we got probably, I don't know. You know what? To be honest, it's really hard to tell because where we live out in the open here, yeah, with the wind that we got with the with that storm, it's really hard to tell. But I'm gonna say that we got probably around 6 inches of snow, and then we had up to, I think it was like 50, 55 kilometer an hour gusts of winds on top of it. So yeah, made for a bit of a blizzard without the temperature drop. That's all. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get some things going here right now. But yeah. $83. Oh my goodness. Haven't seen 83 in 6 months. No, I just fixed it. Today it warmed up to -8. Tonight it's supposed to get down to, I think, -22 or something like that. But then warm back up. Yeah. I hear you on that, Kirk. It's pretty disheartening, really. um, that's what I dealt with last year. We got snow every other day, and exactly by the time you go out, dig all your sets out, get everything set back up, dig out the bait, and have everything back to working again. It snows another 6 to 10 inches the next day. But this year, like I said, it hasn't been bad this year. But just with this little storm that we got, we're just not used to it this year here. And I don't know, just a bit of a bummer. I went around and I pulled 3 of my footholds there today. They were buried in snow, and I'm probably only going to be trapping for another 2 weeks, I'm thinking. So I figured, I don't know, I might reset them. I'll see. Depends on what's moving here after this storm finishes up. But I might just keep them in the garage from now on. I don't know. I still got 9 of them out there. I went and checked them today. They're all buried with snow. They're under big drifts, like 3-foot drifts. So not only are they not working, but yeah, I don't know. So I got to dig them out, and like I said, I'll have to see if there's anything else coming around, whether it's coyotes or fox, and we'll go from there. Whether or not I make some new hay mound sets, or if I just pull the whole line, or the footholds for now anyway. We're gonna go into Dale's tomorrow and pull there. I got what do I got over there? I got like 10 or 12 snares. That's where we caught the 3 coyotes and 2 bobcats. And it's been dead there. There's 1 bobcat hanging around there still. But I mean, I don't have anything set for it because obviously I can't. But yeah, there hasn't been a dog track in there for probably 4 weeks now. So I should have pulled out of there a long time ago, but I don't know. I was blaming it on lack of bait, and then I did get some bait, and I still haven't seen anything in there since I put some fresh bait in there. So I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning is for no dogs in there, but anyway. Yeah, that could be true. That bush, I'm not even sure where the closest deer yard would be, and the deer have definitely yarded up. So, and I do find that this time of year, the coyotes and that stick close to the deer herds. So I'm not real familiar with over at Dale's as to where the closest deer herd would be, but our low has been 30 this year. Oof. Man, that'd be nice. I don't know. We were playing this game there last week, and that was one of the things that I put down is how much I hate winter, which is true. I do. I hate winter. But with that being said, I love trapping. And I mean, where we are, you can't have trapping without winter pretty much. So, Kirk, the fox that I got the same day as the wolf, uh, he was totally fine. There was no sign of anything on him. No rubbing, no shedding, no nothing. He still looked 100%. On that wolf, so the reason in the video why I was talking kind of bad about that wolf was, first of all, she's got like a bit of, I guess, red belly, just in between the back of her leg, in between the back legs on the underside. There's not a whole lot of hair, and it's kind of that reddish color. Not a big piece of her belly is red, just that, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches in between her legs, and then in between her shoulders on the top side. Um, I don't know. I had one guy say that it was the start of possible shoulder mites. I'm not really sure. All it is the guard hairs. There's a little spot there where a little bit of the guard hairs are kind of missing. Um, but I mean, other than that, like the pelt's totally good. Like I brushed it out, and hardly any hair came out. The under fur, whatever, is still totally intact. And actually, she turned out to be a beauty of a pelt. Uh, yeah. So we're gonna keep it, and we're gonna get a tan there. Dad's gonna keep it. But one thing that we couldn't get over was how dark she was. Um, she was by far the black. Not that she was a black wolf, but she was the blackest, closest to the blackest wolf that we've ever seen in this area. Um, I've never seen a black wolf or a coyote, but yeah, so that was pretty cool. That how dark she is. But yeah, I went out yesterday and blew the snow and blew the driveway. Sorry, and she drifted right back in. We went to town there today and came back, and driveway was filled back in. So definitely glad that we got a truck now with the 4-wheel drive. Otherwise, we would have been parked out on the road. It's pretty bad, but that wind really killed us with this storm. Everything just drifting and filling back in. But all right, well, now that everybody's in here, I'll yeah, we'll get chatting more. Glad that people are throwing comments out there. Like I've said in the past, the more you guys chat in the live chat, kind of helps carry things going on forward. Keeps things moving. But anyway, good to see. So what are some of the things, times that you guys would prefer for doing lives? Um, Obviously, different time zones and everything like that. I guess we're in Eastern time zone. Uh, yeah. So our 8 o'clock here, I think, compared to like out Saskatchewan, I think it's like 2 hours difference or something like that. So 9 o'clock here would be 7 o'clock there. So it probably works out better for them. I think when I do my earlier chats, say 8 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock there. I don't know. Those guys might be eating supper or something. So, in old 12 p.m. But yeah, so let me know. Throw your comment out there what you guys prefer, whether it's 8, 8:30, 9. Our kids go to bed like around 7:30, so 7:30, 8 o'clock. So that's why I don't really want to do it earlier. Not to mention, I'm not sure that most people are interested in doing sit down and watch live at any earlier than 8. But that's just me. I don't know. So if you guys don't mind just throwing that out there, whether or not what time works out better for you guys. I know some live chats. Yes, Peter is my cousin. Yep, he sure is. But yeah, I know for myself, I'm kind of like Kirk. I'm not sure if I'm going to still be awake at 9 o'clock. No, but to start anything later than 9 o'clock for myself anyway is getting on. Yes, he is. He's a good guy for sure. Yep. He was when he was younger. He was part of our hunting group there for rifle season for deer. So yeah, and then obviously our dads are brothers. So I grew up around Peter. Not a ton, but we seen each other throughout the year. Family get-togethers, and like I said, for the week of deer season, there used to stay at our hunting camp. Yeah. So going back to that wolf, he works at a fishing lodge. Yes, he does. Yeah, a flying fishing lodge, I believe. Yeah. Timberline North. How's it going? I'm looking younger, am I? Oh my goodness. Must be the camera. Because I feel older. I definitely feel older. But yeah, if you guys look in that video there at the beginning, I say how it's coyote number 28. And that's because I honestly thought that it was coyote number 28. We were up on the ridge where the trail comes along, and then it was caught down at the creek's edge. And when he got caught, or she got caught, she kind of flopped herself over the creek bank and more or less had hung herself. She wasn't dead yet, but I'm sure in the next couple hours she would have been done for. But anyway, so from up there, all we could see was her head, eh? And funny enough, when we were walking in, about 30 yards before we seen her, there's a deer trail. And the deer have not used that trail in the last, I would say, 4 weeks. And when we walked in, we noticed that there was some deer tracks. So I stopped and I was looking at the deer tracks and I was thinking, oh, that's kind of strange. We haven't seen deer on here on this trail for a while now. And then I got looking closer and, there was a good sized track. And so I stopped and I pointed it out and I said, man, look at that's a big track. But there had been deer that had also walked kind of over that track. So it wasn't a defined, you couldn't tell exactly how big it was, but you could tell that it was a coyote, maybe a wolf, had walked through there. Well, anyway, it turned out it was that wolf. And then, of course, walked 30 yards further and there she is. But I still wasn't sure what we had seen was a wolf track. And then, of course, we're looking down there and we're looking at her and all you can see is her head. So in the video, I'm saying it's a coyote at first. But anyway, so then when I went down there to shoot her, that's when I realized as I'm walking down the bank, I could see that, man, like the more of her body that I could see as I got closer to the bank, it was like, wow, those are long legs. Those are big feet. That's a big body. Oh, that's a wolf. Okay. So anyway, turned out to be a pretty exciting to go from a coyote to a wolf for sure. So anyway, it was good. I had the family with me there, or some of the family, and so they were able to come along with me, and my sister was able to do some videoing, and so yeah, it was pretty interesting. So what we think happened was that wolf come across the creek on that deer trail, come up and over our trail, and then it kind of circles around the bait pile. So we got looking at the tracks and it kind of goes around the bait pile. And then, of course, we caught that fox. and you could see where it come around the backside of the bait pile, which is there's a bunch of brush down in that treetops. And anyway, it come around the top, and it must have seen that fox laying there dead, because you could see where it kind of doubled back on its tracks, and then it kind of cut out and around. And I think what happened was it was doing a loop back to that deer trail. And that's it. It dropped down over the bank and was coming along the edge of the creek, heading back to that deer trail when it got caught up in that snare. So anyway, yeah, so it worked out. It worked out good there, but yeah, pretty cool. Nice to get a wolf, that's for sure. And it's those kind of mornings, when you have people with you, that you makes it more exciting, eh? When you catch something, because so often I take people out on the trap line or whatever, and you don't catch anything. I mean, that's just the way it is. Same as hunting, trapping, fishing. You got good days and bad days. But I've definitely been out there by myself sometimes, and you have a phenomenal day. You catch 2-3 coyotes or whatever, and it's just a great day. But here you are by yourself. Still a great day, but you don't get to share it with anybody. But then it seems like the day that you take out, 3 or 4 people, you don't get anything. So it was nice to have some people with me for sure. Wow. So you were able to shoot that coyote, Kirk, or did you trap it? Wow, that's pretty cool. It's always awesome doing jobs like that, eh? Nuisance jobs. Those are the ones that pay pretty good too. So yeah, I kind of touched on this in that video also. Dad and I went around on the snow machine, and we ended up. I was explaining in the video how the dog had been barking that night, and the last time she went off like that, we had caught a fox in one of the footholds, kind of close to the house here. And so anyway, that night I thought, oh, right on, we probably caught a fox in one of the haymound sets. And I figured, well, I'll just grab it in the morning, eh? Snow machine doesn't have a headlight on it, so I thought, well, I'll just wait until morning. So after getting home with that wolf and that, I asked Dad if he wanted to hop on the snow machine there with me and go and check some footholds. So he was up for it. So we took off, and we get over there, and we could see that we had made a catch, and the hay was all fluffed up and all over the field kind of. And then we followed the drag mark, and wow, stupid thing went, I don't know, 40 yards from the haymound set, and got tangled up in the page wire fence, which that's all right. But then somehow, I'm assuming it must have busted its leg and then ripped the skin and took off. But from about here, from here was left in the trap. Obviously not what you want to see, but I don't know what else I could have done. Short of, like Dad said, well, it's too bad you didn't go out that night with a flashlight or whatever and go and check. But I mean, you're not 100% sure that you've got a catch out there. It could just be the dog being dumb. But anyway, so that kind of sucked. So we lost that fox. Obviously, if he did make it, and we catch him later on, we'll kind of know who he was, because he's only going to have 3 legs. Wow. Was able to carry a loaded gun through town. You must have felt like the sheriff. Hey? That's when you need one of those big long leather trench coats like they used to wear in the Westerns, eh? Big pistols on your side. No, that's awesome. That's great. That's cool. Hopefully they paid you the big money for it. Yeah, so I went out, picked up 3 of the footholds there today, and ended up getting stuck with the snow machine. Wyatt, how is it going? I was wondering when you were going to show up. I thought you were going to maybe let me down tonight. Actually, I haven't heard a whole lot from you on Facebook or anything. I thought maybe you're mad at me. Oh, $700 for a cow. Right on. That's some good money right there. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah. So anyway, I went to go through one of the gullies, and I got down into the gully, and I kind of made it back up partway, and then the way the snow had drifted off the top of the other side of the gully, made it about 6 feet deep. So anyway, my little machine didn't have enough power to get through it. So I had to get off and do the old, turn it sideways, turn it so it's facing back down. And then I was able to go back out on the same trail I came in. So I was stuck there for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so. But good man. Priorities. Get rid of them. Got things to do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of the snow drifts there coming off the fence lines, you can definitely tell which way the wind was coming out of. Yeah, lots of snow. Lots of snow. Yeah, so tomorrow I got to finish snow blowing, clean up the barnyard there. We got the cows fed yesterday. And like I said, I did snow blow, but she's drifted right back in. And I never did scrape the barnyard. So I'll be doing that tomorrow, get that all cleaned up. Like I said, I'm going to probably go around and pull all the footholds. Whether or not I reset them, I don't know, but I got to get them out of the snow drifts. And I'll probably give it a couple days here to kind of quiet down. Tomorrow's, I think, supposed to be, what's tomorrow? -8 or something like that. Tomorrow night's around -8. And then this weekend, it's actually we're supposed to see, like, I think +3. And then there's some days +1, +2. So, and sunny. So this time of year, the sun's got her strength back, and I think we're going to see some snow melting here possibly this weekend. So, yeah, and no snow in the forecast for us. So, yeah, I mean, I'll probably end up resetting the footholds, but I'll probably give it a few days there just to let the snow kind of settle down and get more of a base to it. Let the fox get back out in the fields, and we'll go from there. Yes. Yeah, the Holy Land. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I've done that a few times. Trying to run beside it, and you're giving her, and then all of a sudden she catches, and next thing you know, your machine's going without you, and you're laying face down in the snow. Oh, I've been there. Definitely been there. Oh, yeah. Good times, good times. Oh, man. Hey, have you guys been sitting in on TNT's live chats? I think it was just his second one there that he had on, I think it was Sunday. Man, that guy, unbelievable, unbelievable. At one time, I think it was like 129 or something like that watching. And I was commenting in that, and man, that chat was going faster than yeah. Whew, unbelievable, unbelievable. That guy's great, man. I love watching his stuff. Yeah. Comic clutch. Wow. That's what I'd like to get, Kirk. That's the kind of machine that I'd like to get. How's it going, Tim? You missed everything. It's over. Good night. No, I'm just bugging. I'm just bugging. Oh, we just been talking about the wolf that I caught and kind of the weather and garbage like that. Not a whole lot. No, don't worry yourself. You're just in time. Party doesn't start until Tim gets here, right? Right. BCP, Farm and Trucking. How's it going? What for you into trapping? Hello from Capel, Saskatchewan. I'm not sure what for you into trapping means. You'll have to help me with that one. But yeah, Kirk, how's the snaring going under the ice? I've been watching your videos. Okay, that's one thing I want to kind of clear up here, especially while I got a bunch of watchers. You know what I mean? Um, I watch your guys' videos, but I watch it on my TV, and I can't comment on my TV. So I watch your videos and I like them, but unless I go back onto the computer and like kind of rewatch the video and then I can comment. So it's not that I don't watch your guys' video; it's that I watch it on my TV. So if you guys are wondering why I never comment on stuff, that's why. I prefer to watch it on my TV. I've got like a 60-inch screen TV, and I'd rather watch it on that than my, I don't know, whatever this is, 12-inch laptop. So yeah, so I never take the time afterwards to really go and comment. I do the odd time, but I on a whole, I don't really go back and comment. So don't worry, guys. I am watching your stuff. But yeah, I watch Wyatt's ice fishing videos. I watch Kirk's under the ice beaver trapping. I watch TNT's coyote snaring, Northern Trappers coyote snaring. You name it, I'm watching it, guys. So I mean, if you guys are supporting me, I'm supporting you. Don't worry about it. I know it's nice to get the comments. Trust me, I know. And to especially get those, the thumb up button. But anyway, she's just the way she goes. Just the way she goes. Oh, what got you into trapping? Sorry. Yes. What got me into trapping? Good question. My dad actually got me into trapping. Um, I was, let's see, I think I would have been around 18, 19 years old. And my grandfather died. And he used to have a corn patch, and he had some of these homemade live traps. I'm sure you guys seen them. The old steel barrel with the guillotine door made out of like the checkered plate, and then it had like a rod on top. Anyway, I was kind of willed those traps when he died. So when I was 18, 19 years old, I took them out in the bush, put, I don't know, peanut butter or whatever in there, and I was just catching raccoons. Wasn't killing them. I wasn't doing anything with them. I just catch raccoons and let them go and catch another raccoon that night and catch the odd house cat. But I just let everything go, eh? But I found it really interesting, and I liked doing it. But I mean, it was something I was doing for not even a hobby. I mean, I don't know, I did it for a week or something like that. And my sister would come back with me and check the traps back then. I think I had like two of them or something like that on the go. And anyway, one day, my dad said, he said, it's kind of illegal what you're doing. Like, you really shouldn't be trapping fur bears. Not that I was killing them. So I don't know that it was really illegal, but um, he said there's kind of a right way of going about it. And he actually grew up trapping with his dad. And like I'm talking back in the 70s, when trapping was part of their living, my grandfather's living anyway. That's how he put food on the table. Was he worked in the steel plant, but he also would trap, and so I mean, that was it brought in decent money back then, and it was nothing to sneeze at. So anyway, and then of course my dad would, he was trapping too, and he had his own furs, and but anyway, so my dad, said like there's a right way to go about this, and maybe you should think about getting your trapping license. So I said, oh, yeah, okay. So I started looking into it, and everybody in my area was, like booked in advance, or you had to, wait until next fall or something. And I'm not the most patient person. And so anyway, um, I called up the guy in Gama, Joe Gerner, got on with him, got my license, and yeah. So I mean, I would say my dad got me into it. He's the one that pushed me, and yeah, I've never looked back. And yeah, so that's what got me into it. And when I first started trapping, I was mainly into beaver and otter and raccoon, and then I kind of progressed into the coyotes and the wolves. And I don't do a whole lot of the water trapping anymore, other than I do a lot of beaver trapping, but for nuisance, not for the fur. But yeah, so that's what got me into it. So I'm just gonna catch up on the chat here. Oh, that's good. That's good that you're catching up on the quota there, Kirk. Actually, before I keep reading, Kirk would know the answer to this, I'm sure. Is it legal? Um, so if you have a registered trap line and you have to catch so many beavers to fill your quota, is it legal to get beavers from another trapper um, to use towards your quota? I'll let Kirk answer that. Hunt for fish. Hi guys, trapping stuff, eh? Yes, unfortunately, trapping talk tonight. Oh, just the way she goes. My son wanted to learn, so I took the course. Now my grandson is my partner. He's 8. Preston, good man. Yes. It's always nice seeing younger people in the videos, eh? Learning how to trap and enjoying it and getting out there, not just sitting on cell phones. I don't even have a cell phone. Um, Nobody in my house has a cell phone, and I like it that way. I just took my trapping course. BCP. Okay. Well, what are you looking to trap? That's kind of the biggest question. That's the first question I kind of ask people when they're getting into trapping. Um, what's your target gonna be? And we'll go from there. Ain't that the truth, eh, Tim? And in a I was gonna say a trade, but when it comes to trapping, like in a dying trade, if you will, that is definitely true. The kids are definitely the future of trapping. If the kids don't grow up and learn how to do it, she's gonna die pretty quick. Okay, coyotes is my target. Okay, well that's good because especially if you're out west, the coyotes are going to be worth a lot of money out there. Yeah, 75%. You got to get 75% of your beaver quota in order to keep your line, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So if coyotes is going to be your target, um, there's going to be a whole lot of information when it comes to snares and what you should get um, for snaring coyotes. So I'm going to tell you what I prefer. Uh, I make my own snares. Um, and that's just because I can make my snares for under $2. And to start buying snares, when you're running, I don't know, like I got 60 some snares out there, which I know that's not a ton to some people. But still, like for me, it's trying to keep the cost down. Um, so I make my own snares. I run a 332nd 7x7. I can honestly say I've never used the 1x19 cable. And as for locks, I've used a lot of different locks, and I still have yet to find one that I'm really happy about. Like I've talked earlier, I'm looking at getting into maybe trying the Seneca kill springs. I know a lot of guys they run the well, it just left me. Oh, the Rams. Sorry, brain fart there. I know a lot of people that run the Rams. Um, But for me, I don't really want to not invest, but I don't really want to spend $30 for a RAM. Um, that's a lot of money. And then the replacement snares for the Rams are fairly specific, and I think they cost around $2 or something like that. So you get into a lot of money wrapped up in those. Um, I can't honestly say whether they're good or bad. From what I see on YouTube videos and that, it looks like they do a great job. Um, but yeah. Oh, okay. So you have to use power rams. Okay. I was kind of wondering that. Yeah. I don't know what else to tell you. Uh, I don't have any experience with them, so I'm probably not the greatest person to. I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you one way or the other. Um, But yeah, I mean, if you got to use them, you got to use them. And as for the cable size, again, I've never used power ram, so I'm not even sure what size of snare I would recommend for coyotes. So sorry on that. Just the way she goes. Um, I hate to send you to another person, but uh, Northern Trapper and TNT, Triple Nickel Trapper, those are two guys that are just off the top of my head. Um, that are they put out a lot of YouTube videos, and those two guys run pretty much all power rams, the number ones and the Wolf Master. So I would say check out some of their videos and maybe chat with them a bit and see what they would recommend, because yeah, like I said, seems like those are the guys that would know best. And in fact, I think Triple Nickel Trapper, I think he's in Saskatchewan. I don't think it's Alberta. I think it's Saskatchewan. Yeah, they are out west too. Yeah, yeah. So those guys would probably give you a better idea as to what would be best to run. I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you one way or the other. Well, I thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you enjoy them. Okay, good. Saskatchewan he is. There we go. Yeah. Actually, I can remember, not remember, my dad tells me this story quite often, every couple years anyway. um, but when he was younger in high school, um, he had like a little muskrat line going. So anyway, he had done all these muskrats up, dried them, stretched them, and back then there was a fur buyer. They had a fur buyer. We don't have any fur buyers around here anymore. If you want to sell your furs, you gotta ship them to fur harvesters. All right, we'll see you in a bit, Wyatt. How's it going, Dan? Um, so anyway, he had his little muskrat line, and he had done all these muskrats. What he said, 20 or 30 of them. And again, back then, that was a lot. You know what I mean? That was going to be a lot of money, especially for a kid in high school. And so anyway, he went to school one day, and while he was at school, the fur buyer came by, and so his dad was home, my grandpa, to meet with the fur buyer. And anyway, my dad hadn't told him, like, oh, if the price is this or lower, don't sell them. So anyway, grandpa sold all the furs, and including my dad's muskrats. And when my dad got home, he was not too very happy because I forget what he got. I can't remember the price exactly what he got, but it was like $1 a fur or something like that. And the average was like three something. You know what I mean? So anyway, dad was not happy at all. He got like 20, $30 when he should have got close to 100. And again, back then you're dealing with a lot of money. So anyway, yeah, he wasn't too impressed. But anyway, just the way she goes. Hope I exited the screen there. I thought I closed you guys down. Whew. But yeah, so he tells me that story every few years there. I don't know, usually when we're talking about trapping related stuff. And yeah, it's always a good story to listen to. But that's something that I've never been able to experience as a fur buyer because, like I said, we never had one. But yeah, we just always ship our stuff to fur harvesters. And in the later years, that's where my grandpa and my dad shipped to. So that's why I ended up shipping to fur harvesters and not NAFA. And then now, obviously, NAFA's no more. So fur harvesters is pretty much your only option. There's a guy in our hunting camp. His brother, when they were growing up, his brother got into trapping, and when he had a bit of a coyote line when he was in high school, so he'd come home from school and check his coyotes and that, or check his snares and pick up coyotes. And over what was it, Christmas holidays or something like that, they had 2 weeks off, and I forget how many coyotes he ended up picking up. But again, back then, back in the late '60s and that, um, it was a ton of money, especially for a high school kid. And so, and that's when he tells the story. It's kind of the same thing. His whole family couldn't believe that his brother was making this much money in 2 weeks. But I mean, it was just a different time back then. But I really do enjoy listening to these the older stories. The way things were, and just I find all that stuff very interesting. BCP. Okay, I am up to 27 coyotes, 1 wolf, 5 fox, 1 raccoon, and 3 bobcat. My goal for coyotes this year was 20. The most I had gotten up until then was 18. And again, I know for a lot of people, that's nothing, when it comes to coyotes. For others, it's crazy. It's a lot. But for where I live, I've been trapping coyotes every year since I think 2011. And like I said, up until this year, the max I'd ever gotten was 18, which was 2 seasons ago. Last season, I only got 12 or 13. And so anyway, my goal for the last few years has been 20. And I passed 20 pretty quick this year. And so I set my new goal to be 30. And now things have slowed down so much. For a while there, I thought, man, I'm going to make 30 no problem. But man, did she ever die down. So I don't know if we're going to make 30 this year. The season's winding down pretty quick. Fox, that's kind of an average. That's not a surprising amount of fox for me to catch in a season. And raccoons, I could catch more raccoons if I wanted, but I just don't really set for them. I wish there was a better market for them. If there was, I'd catch more raccoons. Not like the guys down in the States. They got a lot of raccoons down there. We don't have nearly that many. I think I could probably get maybe 20 to 30 raccoons, if I trapped for them, if they were worth some money and put some effort into it. But yeah, let me just grab a drink, guys. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to set for raccoons, I think I could probably get about 20 or 30 of them, no problem. But anyway, I kind of forget where we were. Oh, yeah. And as for bobcats, there's no season here. But when you have bait piles out and you have 60 snares hanging around them, you get the accidental catch. And where I am, there is more bobcats, I think, than most people realize, including the M&R maybe. And so, I mean, when you got a fair size population of them, there's not much you can do. They get into your coyote and fox snares, and it's kind of, yeah, the rest is history. Dan asked, where is everyone from? I am from Ontario, Canada. Same as Trapper Trails and Tails. Northwest Missouri. Whew. That's actually a good question. Good question, Dan. It's always nice to know where everybody's from. How's it going, Michael? From Saskatchewan. Yeah, I noticed there's quite a few people from out west. BCP is from Saskatchewan. Newfoundland. That is true, Tim. 100%. Yeah. That's another, not to get all sentimental with you guys, but that's another thing that I enjoy listening to those older stories, is because, like Tim said, times have changed, and whether or not we'll ever see those kind of times again, I don't know. I'm thinking probably not, and so therefore those kind of stories are never going to be, have happened again, and therefore they won't be told anymore. So those kind of stories are going to die with the older generation, and that's it's kind of sad. that's one thing I really wish, if I could go back, I wish I could have talked to my grandpa a lot more. He was a World War II vet, and I'm Native, and obviously he was Native, and he actually was in the residential schools. So I mean, there's a whole lot of history there, and now World War II. He didn't talk a whole lot about it. In fact, in my entire life, I don't know, I maybe heard like 2 sentences worth um, come from him that was related to the war, which I hear is very common. Most people that were in the war don't really like to talk about it. I think I can understand that. But anyway, not so much to hear about those stories, although I wouldn't mind listening to them. But I wish I could have got more trapping stories from him. You know, and I didn't. But anyway, I mean, it's just the way it is. But that's one thing, like I said, I enjoy those stories, and there's value in them for sure. Wyatt is back. Trapper tails and tails. 2 trappers next to my trap line each caught a boob cat this year. I don't know what a boob cat is, but I bet you she looked pretty interesting. Anyway, bobcat, I'm sure. No, I know. I'm just bugging you. I mainly water trap here. What do you mainly trap in the water? I'm guessing beavers, but that's just my guess. Charles is in Florida. Wyatt is in Ontario. How do I set for boob cat? See, Wyatt, you're a good man. You guys are probably already typing further down here. I'm a really slow reader. I don't know. Let me know what that set is. Love trapping open water, even though I only get around 4 weeks of open water. Yeah, tell me about it. There's like 2 seasons here, winter, and then there's 2 days of haying season. And if you're not on your A game in those 2 days, you missed out on haying season. Sell the farm. Yeah, times have changed. Not like in the camp with your stinky buddy smoking that big pot of supper on the stove, eh? yeah, exactly. Traditions and culture is very important. That it is. That it is. Takes a 24. Oh, takes a 2-4 to catch a boob cat. Okay, so Dan goes after beaver, muskrat, mink, raccoon, otter. Okay. That's one thing I'm again, for whatever reason where I am, every species there is nothing that we could get like 1,000 of. You know what I mean? Like again, TNT. You watch him, 100 coyotes, no problem. Kind of like a given every year, right? You watch other guys, it's like 1,000 muskrats in a season, no big deal. Fox, 2,000, no big deal. Otter, you know what I mean? List goes on. One thing we do have quite a bit of is beaver. But yeah, I mean, where I am, there's not a huge amount of numbers in anything. Like I don't know. I think that's probably a good thing. It kind of shows that our ecosystem is maybe pretty balanced, which I think is a good thing. But when you're trying to trap, like I don't know, if I could get 30 muskrats in a season, I'd probably be doing pretty good. You know what I mean? But I don't count myself to be a real big muskrat trapper. I'm sure I could learn a lot and get a lot better at it. But anyway, But that is one thing that I wish I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a price increase on. I can remember I think it was 2013, muskrats were like averaging, what was it, like $8 or $10 average. So I hammered the muskrats that year, and I got like 30 of them. And so if we could see a little bit of an increase on the muskrat price, I'd like to go after them again. That's 100%, 100%, Kirk. Got to have the critters to catch them. 100%. Right now, it's not for the lack of trying for getting these last 3 coyotes, but guess what? If there's no coyote tracks in the bush, there's no coyotes in the bush, right where I am anyway, and you can't catch what's not there. So just the way the cookie crumbles. The important thing is that I'm getting out there. 100%. That is true. Yep. A Sudbury Saturday night, Kirk. Yeah. Yeah. Well, where I live, small island. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe other trappers. One guy has a trapping registered trap line about 3.5 hours north of us, and the other guys mainly just trap private property. So yeah, I mean, there's not a huge amount of competition, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's something. It's that's what I can think of off the top of my head, about 5 other trappers. Like I said, the one guy has a registered trap line up north. He doesn't really trap on the island per se. There's myself. Uh, there's another guy, Tyler. He traps a bit. He has so around the island. It is divided up into different sections, A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way around the water perimeter of the island. And so the M&R has it mapped out. And like I said, from point A to point B, there's A, and then it B, C, all the way around. And you can put in for each section whether or not you want to get that for your the trapping rights to it. And once you have the trapping rights to it, unless you give it up, you don't lose it. So I've looked into it, and Tyler has pretty much all the good spots. He's been trapping a lot longer than I have, and so he has all the rights to the good trapping spots. I did carry the rights to a couple of the different ones for a couple of years, but I never really used them, just because it's just the waterfront, right? So you can't go up on land. Like you can go up to the high water mark, and then that's it. So it kind of makes it tough for trapping. It's all right for muskrat and beaver and that, you're out in the water, but you kind of have to do everything by boat, and I don't know. It's a pain. So, and then of course you're also dealing with waterfront, so waterfront properties. Even though you're legal to be out in front of somebody's camp, it's you definitely have to be willing to deal with the headaches that come with setting muskrat traps, in front of somebody's camp, while they're sitting there. Anyway, I'm sure if you guys have trapped, you understand what I'm talking about. But I don't know. Not really my cup of tea. But it is what it is. Like I said, if prices were better, I'd do it. But anyway, actually, on that note, have you? I'm sure you guys have all seen him, 330 Maniac, on YouTube. He's another guy that I enjoy watching, and in some of his older videos, he's had issues with trapping lakes, and he totally 100% legal. But you know, you always get that one landowner that thinks he owns the entire lake just because he has one camp on it, and it's just interesting watching his videos because you know he shows the guy come walking out and tearing a strip off him because he's muskrat trapping out in the center of the lake, and like some people just can't mind their own business, but it is what it is. I have that many trappers on my street. Oh boy. That's a lot of trappers on one street. Sidewalks must just run with blood. Coyotes got here late 80s. Wolf was. Beaver, you have to have a registered line. Wolves are coming back. Well, that'd be all right, eh? Mind you, the coyotes is to me where the money is right now. But okay, so let me see. Yeah, Kirk answered it down there. What a registered trap line means. Oh, you did see that, Acre or Wyatt? Okay, yeah, I enjoyed that video. That was good when that guy come yelled at him. If I understand correctly, a coyote's reproduction rates adjust to their howling responses. What do you guys think about that? Not exactly sure what you mean by that. But the way that I've always understood coyote reproduction is it all depends on. Actually, I was just talking to this exact same thing to somebody not 2 days ago. But the way I understand it is that coyotes, as long as there is enough food for a coyote, and they're thriving, you know, so they're good, healthy. The population is good. There's no disease. They can have, you know, the same litters as your golden retriever, and that's what I've always understood the size of litters in that to depend on. If there's lots of prey in that and the population is healthy, you're going to have bigger litters. You know, if the prey isn't there, then you're gonna have smaller litters. But that's the way I've always understood it. If that makes any sense, I don't know. I don't always get my words across like I should, but yeah, he did call the DNR. Hundred square miles. Whew. Is that all connected, Kirk? Or are your three registered trap lines all side by side? Because if that is, that's awesome. That's a big area that only you can touch. That's awesome. That'd be cool. See where I am, I just trap private property. So I go around and I get signatures. The OFMF has a little form there that you get the landowner's permission. They sign their life away. Not really, but they put down how many years you can trap for, and if there's any live beaver houses, how many there is, blah, blah, anyway. And in order to trap on private property, you have to have the signatures of the landowner. So I just trap private property. The most I think I've trapped up to is about 1,000 acres. And let's see, this year I've got about 550, 600 acres this year. But they aren't all side by side. They're all more or less split up. There's a couple 100-acre lots that are side by side. 3 different lines, 20 miles apart. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yep. So 20 miles apart, how many other trap lines would there be in between yours? Like, would it be yours and then one more and then yours again? Or would there be a couple of them in there? 4,000 acres of private. Wow. That's crazy. Again, that's not just one landowner, is it? That's got to be a few. Most people around here only own like 100 acres, so that'd be a lot of signatures. Wow. Definitely keeps you busy, eh? That's crazy. Two of them. Okay. $200-acre parcel. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a different way of doing it, eh? Hunt for fish. And then you have to apply for that area if you want to trap for the beavers. Huh. Kirk's just living the life, eh? Retired, nothing else to do but trap, hunt, and fish. There you go. That's all right. Living the life. Well, there's worse things to be doing. Definitely worse things to be doing. As long as the bills are paid and you're having fun, it's the main thing. As long as the bills are paid and you're having fun, it's the main thing. One other thing, I wanted to give a bit of a shout out there to Trappers Trails and Tails, Kirk. If anybody is looking for, I'm assuming most people have already subscribed to him, but if you haven't, go and check him out. Last few videos there he's been doing is under the ice beaver snares. Right from how to make the snares, how to make the setups, to catching beavers. And anyway, go and check them out. I've been with Kirk there for quite a while now. I've always enjoyed his videos. And anyway, go and check him out. Great guy, great videos, does a good job. And yeah, go check him out. So that's my shout out for the night, if you will. So anyway. Got to catch that. Got to catch that fur for the bobcat. Oh, no problem, Kurt. No problem. Yeah, that's right. Got to catch that fur. Anyway, guys, I am running low on things to talk about here. So I haven't missed an episode since I started following Kirk. Good man. Good man. Yeah. So back when we started these live chats a couple months ago, I was thinking that we were gonna be a little more consistent. Every Tuesday night or whatever. I think I kind of already said this before, but she just hasn't worked out that way. Things get busy, and it's hard to kind of commit to a certain night every week, just with everything that's going on. But anyway, yeah, just the way it goes. So we've been, needless to say, very hit and miss here, but best I can do. The videos on our channel have obviously slowed down too, just because we haven't been catching anything. Tomorrow morning, we got a new farm video coming up. So if you guys are into farming, check it out. She's a bit of an interesting show. But yeah, otherwise, not a whole lot. And as for the live chats, just we'll be doing them whenever we get a chance. And like I said before, I'll usually put a kind of a 2-hour notice out there. I wasn't even planning on doing one tonight, and then I don't know, around 6 o'clock, my wife said, "Oh, you should do a live chat tonight." So I thought, you know what? We got back from town there early enough and got stuff done around here, so we're able to do a live chat tonight. So, like I said, not sure when the next one will be, but definitely probably in the next week or so. And yeah, so if you have any other last comments, throw them out there, and we'll go through them. But anyway, she's been a good chat. Been at her an hour and 17 minutes, if you can believe that. Time always flies when you're having fun, and you got good guys like this chatting it up. So I much appreciated there, guys, for the guys that have been chiming in on the chat. And yeah, great show. Thanks. Yeah, well, thanks for stopping by there, Tim. Thanks, Wyatt. Much appreciated. And all right. Well, till next times, guys. We'll see you. And make sure you guys check out that new farm video in the morning. She'll be going up live at 6. So if you guys can't sleep or you got to get up early, check her out. So we'll see you later, Timber, and hunt for fish. We'll see you guys. Till next time. Ciao.